Secrets of the Liquor Trade for Our Knowledge Box. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Our Knowledge Box by George Blackie. Secrets of the Liquor Trade. Cider without apples. To each gallon of cold water, put 1 pound common sugar, 1/2 ounce tartaric acid, 1 tablespoon of yeast. Shake well, make in the evening, and it will be fit for use next day. I make in a keg a few gallons at a time, leaving a few quarts to make into next time, not using yeast again until the keg needs rinsing. If it gets a little sour, make a little more into it, or put as much water with it as there is cider, and put it with the vinegar. If it is desired to bottle this cider by manufacturers of small drinks, you will proceed as follows. Put in a barrel 5 gallons hot water, 30 pounds brown sugar, 3/4 pound tartaric acid, 25 gallons cold water, 3 pints of hop or brewer's yeast worked into paste with 3/4 pound flour, and 1 pint water will be required in making this paste. Put all together in a barrel, which it will fill, and let it work 24 hours, the yeast running out at the bung all the time, by putting in a little occasionally to keep it full. Then bottle, putting in 2 or 3 broken raisins to each bottle, and it will nearly equal champagne. Cider Champagne No. 1. Good cider, 20 gallons. Spirits, 1 gallon. Honey or sugar, 6 pounds. Mix, and let them rest for a fortnight. Then fine with skimmed milk, 1 quart. This, put up in champagne bottles, silvered and labeled, has often been sold for champagne. It opens very sparkling. Cider to keep sweet. First, by putting into the barrel, before the cider has begun to work, about 1/2 a pint of whole fresh mustard seed tied up in a coarse muslin bag. Second, by burning a little sulphur or sulphur match in the barrel previous to putting in the cider. Third, by the use of 3/4 of an ounce of the bisulfite of lime to the barrel. This article is the preserving powder, sold at rather a high price by various firms. To neutralize whiskey to make various liquors. To 40 gallons of whiskey, add 1 1/2 pounds unslacked lime, 3/4 pound alum, and 1/2 pint of spirits of nitre. Stand 24 hours and draw it off. Madeira wine. To 40 gallons prepared cider, add 1/4 pound tartaric acid, 4 gallons spirits, 3 pounds loaf sugar. Let it stand 10 days, draw it off carefully, fine it down, and again rack it into another cask. Sherry wine. To 40 gallons prepared cider, add 2 gallons spirits, 3 pounds of raisins, 6 gallons good sherry, and 1/2 ounce oil bitter almonds, dissolved in alcohol. Let it stand 10 days, and draw it off carefully, fine it down, and again rack it into another cask. Port wine. To 40 gallons prepared cider, add 6 gallons good port wine, 10 quarts wild grapes, clusters, 1/2 pound bruised rhatany root, 3 ounces tincture of kino, 3 pounds loaf sugar, 2 gallons spirits. Let this stand 10 days, color it if too light, with tincture of rhatany. Then rack it off and fine it. This should be repeated until the color is perfect and the liquid clear. To correct a bad taste and sourness in wine. Put in a bag the root of wild horseradish, cut in bits. Let it down in the wine, and leave it there 2 days. Take this out, and put another, repeating the same till the wine is perfectly restored, or fill a bag with wheat. It will have the same effect. To restore flat wine, add 4 or 5 pounds of sugar, honey, or bruised raisins, to every 100 gallons, and bung close. A little spirits may also be added. To restore wine that has turned sour or sharp, fill a bag with leek seed, or of leaves or twisters of vine, and put either of them to infuse in the cask. Ginger wine. Take 1 quart of 95% alcohol, and put into it 1 ounce of best ginger root, bruised and not ground, 5 grains of capsicum, and 1 drachm of tartaric acid. Let stand 1 week and filter. Now add 1 gallon of water, in which 1 pound of crushed sugar has been boiled. Mix when cold. To make the color, boil 1/2 ounce of cochineal, 3/4 ounce of cream tartar, 1/2 ounce of saleratus, and 1/2 ounce alum in a pint of water till you get a bright red color. French brandy. Pure spirits, 1 gallon. Best French brandy, or any kind you wish to imitate, 1 quart. Loaf sugar, 2 ounces. Sweet spirits of nitre, 1/2 ounce. A few drops of tincture of catechu, or oak bark, to roughen the taste if desired, and color to suit. Gin. Take 100 gallons of clean rectified spirits. Add, after you have killed the oils well, 1 1/2 ounces of the oil of English juniper, 1/2 ounce of angelica essence, 1/2 ounce of the oil bitter almonds, 1/2 ounce of the oil of coriander, and 1/2 ounce of the oil of caraway. Put this into the rectified spirit, and well rummage it up. This is what rectifiers call strong gin. To make this up, as it is called by the trade, add 45 pounds of loaf sugar dissolved. Then rummage the whole well up together with 4 ounces of roche alum. For finings there may be added 2 ounces of salts of tartar. Aromatic Schiedam Schnapps, to imitate. To 25 gallons good common gin, 5 over proof, add 15 pints strained honey, 2 gallons clear water, 5 pints white sugar syrup, 5 pints spirit of nutmegs mixed with the nitric ether, 5 pints orange flower water, 7 quarts pure water, 1 ounce acetic ether, 8 drops of oil of wintergreen, dissolved with the acetic ether. Mix all the ingredients well. If necessary, fine with alum and salt of tartar. St. Croix rum. To 40 gallons P or N spirits, add 2 gallons St. Croix rum, 2 ounces acetic acid, 1 1/2 ounces butyric acid, 3 pounds loaf sugar. Pineapple rum. To 50 gallons rum, made by the fruit method, add 25 pineapples sliced, and 8 pounds white sugar. Let it stand 2 weeks before drawing off. Irish or Scotch whiskey. To 40 gallons proof spirits, add 60 drops of creosote, dissolved in 1 quart of alcohol, 2 ounces acetic acid, 1 pound loaf sugar. Stand 48 hours. Rum shrub. Tartaric acid, 5 pounds. Pale sugar, 100 pounds. Oil lemon, 4 drops. Oil orange, 4 drops. Put them into a large cask, 80 gallons, and add water, 10 gallons. Rummage till the acid and sugar are dissolved, and then add rum, proof, 20 gallons. Water to make up 55 gallons in all. Coloring 1 quart or more. Fine with 12 eggs. The addition of 12 sliced oranges will improve the flavor. Bourbon whiskey. To 100 gallons pure proof spirit, add 4 ounces pear oil, 2 ounces Pellegarnoff ether, 13 drops oil of wintergreen dissolved in the ether, 1 gallon wine vinegar. Color with burnt sugar. Strong beer, English improved. Malt, 1 peck. Coarse brown sugar, 6 pounds. Hops, 4 ounces. Good yeast, 1 teacup. If you have not malt, take a little over 1 peck of barley. Twice the amount of oats will do, but are not as good. and put it into an oven after the bread is drawn, or into a stove oven, and steam the moisture from them. Grind coarsely. Now pour upon the ground malt 3 1/2 gallons of water at 170 or 172 degrees of heat. The tub in which you scald the malt should have a false bottom, 2 or 3 inches from the real bottom. The false bottom should be bored full of gimlet holes, so as to act as a strainer to keep back the malt meal. When the water is poured on, stir them well, and let it stand 3 hours, and draw off by a faucet. Put in 7 gallons more of water at 180 to 182 degrees. Stir it well, and let it stand 2 hours, and draw it off. Then put on a gallon or 2 of cold water, stir it well, and draw it off. You should have about 5 or 6 gallons. Put the 6 pounds of coarse brown sugar in an equal amount of water, mix with the wort, and boil 1 1/2 to 2 hours with the hops. You should have 8 gallons when boiled. When cooled to 80 degrees, put in the yeast, and let it work 18 to 20 hours, covered with a sack. Use sound iron hooped kegs or porter bottles, bung or cork tight, and in 2 weeks it will be good sound beer, and will keep a long time. And for persons of a weak habit of body, and especially females, 1 glass of this with their meals is far better than tea or coffee, or all the ardent spirits in the universe. If more malt is used, not exceeding 1/2 a bushel, the beer, of course, would have more spirit, but this strength is sufficient for the use of families or invalids. Root beer. For 10 gallons beer, take 3 pounds common burdock root, or 1 ounce essence of sassafras, 1/2 pound good hops, 1 pint corn, roasted brown. Boil the whole in 6 gallons pure water until the strength of the materials is obtained. Strain while hot into a keg, adding enough cold water to make 10 gallons. When nearly cold, add clean molasses or syrup until palatable, not sickishly sweet. Add also as much fresh yeast as will raise a batch of 8 loaves of bread. Place the keg in a cellar or other cool place, and in 48 hours you will have a keg of first-rate sparkling root beer. Superior Ginger Beer. 10 pounds of sugar, 9 ounces of lemon juice, 1/2 a pound of honey, 11 ounces of bruised ginger root, 9 gallons of water, 3 pints of yeast. Boil the ginger half an hour in a gallon of water. Then add the rest of the water and the other ingredients, and strain it when cold. Add the white of an egg, beaten, and 1/2 an ounce of essence of lemon. Let it stand 4 days. Then bottle, and it will keep many months. Spruce Beer. Take of the essence of spruce 1/2 a pint, bruised pimento and ginger of each 4 ounces, water 3 gallons. Boil 5 or 10 minutes, then strain and add 11 gallons of warm water, a pint of yeast, and 6 pints of molasses. Allow the mixture to ferment for 24 hours. To cure ropy beer. Put a handful or 2 of flour and the same quantity of hops, with a little powdered alum, into the beer and rummage it well. To give beer the appearance of age. Add a few handfuls of pickled cucumbers and Seville oranges, both chopped up. This is said to make malt liquor appear 6 months older than it really is. How to make mead. The following is a good receipt for mead. On 20 pounds of honey pour 5 gallons of boiling water. Boil, and remove the scum as it rises. Add 1 ounce of best hops, and boil for 10 minutes. Then put the liquor into a tub to cool. When all but cold, add a little yeast, spread upon a slice of toasted bread. Let it stand in a warm room. When fermentation is set up, put the mixture into a cask and fill up from time to time as the yeast runs out of the bunghole. When the fermentation is finished, bung it down, leaving a peg hole which can afterwards be closed, and in less than a year it will be fit to bottle. Stomach bitters, equal to Hostetter's, for 1/4 its cost. European gentian root, 1 1/2 ounces. Orange peel, 2 1/2 ounces. Cinnamon, 1/4 ounce. aniseed, 1/2 ounce; coriander seed, 1/2 ounce; cardamom seed, 1/8 ounce; unground Peruvian bark, 1/2 ounce; gum kino, 1/4 ounce. Bruise all these articles, and put them into the best alcohol, 1 pint. Let it stand a week and pour off the clear tincture. Then boil the dregs a few minutes in 1 quart of water, strain, and press out all the strength. Now dissolve loaf sugar, 1 pound, in the hot liquid, adding 3 quarts cold water, and mix with spirit tincture first poured off, or you can add these and let it stand on the dregs if preferred. Soda syrup, with or without fountains. The common or more watery syrups are made by using loaf or crushed sugar, 8 pounds; pure water, 1 gallon; gum arabic, 2 ounces. Mix in a brass or copper kettle. Boil until the gum is dissolved, then skim and strain through white flannel, after which add tartaric acid, 5½ ounces, dissolved in hot water. To flavor, use extract of lemon, orange, rose, pineapple, peach, sarsaparilla, strawberry, etc., 1/2 ounce to each bottle, or to your taste. Bead for liquor. The best bead is the orange flower water bead. Oil of neroli, 1 drop to each gallon of brandy. Another method: to every 40 drops of sulphuric acid, add 60 drops of purest sweet oil in a glass vessel. Use immediately. This quantity is generally sufficient for 10 gallons spirit. Another: take 1 ounce of the purest oil sweet almonds, 1 ounce of sulphuric acid, put them in a stone mortar, add by degrees 2 ounces of white lump sugar, rubbing it well with the pestle till it becomes a paste. Then add small quantities of spirits of wine till it comes into a liquid. This quantity is sufficient for 100 gallons. The first is strongly recommended as the best. Coloring for liquors. Take 2 pounds crushed or lump sugar, put it into a kettle that will hold 4 to 6 quarts, with 1/2 tumbler of water. Boil it until it is black. Then take it off and cool with water, stirring it as you put in the water. Wax putty for leaky casks, bungs, etc. Spirits turpentine, 2 pounds. Tallow, 4 pounds. Solid turpentine, 12 pounds. Melt the wax and solid turpentine together over a slow fire, then add the tallow. When melted, remove far from the fire. Then stir the spirits turpentine and let it cool. Cement for the mouths of corked bottles. Melt together 1/4 of a pound of rosin, a couple of ounces of beeswax. When it froths, stir it with a tallow candle. As soon as it melts, dip the mouths of the corked bottles into it. This is an excellent thing to exclude the air from such things as are injured by being exposed to it. End of Secrets of the Liquor Trade. Recording by Bill Borst.